description. Getting there. Awesome. All right. I think we are good to go. So hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Hart, and I work on the employer development team here in the Center for Career Development and Academic Exploration at the University of Tennessee. And we are here today for our next employer spotlight. Very thrilled to have Courtney Story here from Insight Global. So Courtney, thank you so much for joining us today and taking time out of your schedule to talk to the students here at UT about opportunities at Insight Global. And we're excited to learn a little bit more about you and your role and how students can get involved. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go ahead and just kind of get started. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Insight Global and what does your company do and like the locations of where your offices are?
Yeah, for sure. So to kind of, I guess, start from the top, Insight Global is the third largest technical staffing firm. So we actually have 61 current office locations nationwide, multi-billion-dollar company. We are growing and expanding like crazy, which is exciting. Actually open a good 3 to 5 new locations a year as well. So ton of growth, ton of opportunities. Just nationwide, and kind of as a staffing firm, it means that we're that liaison between our consultants and our clients. So we work with a number of companies nationwide, over 80% of the Fortune 1000 firms like Google, Bank of America, Amazon, Facebook, and essentially help make placements for them, help them with projects, help them with hiring. So that's kind of like our bread and butter in what we do.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks for that kind of background on the company. So talk to me about the types of jobs and like opportunities that you currently have open to where students can apply for.
Yeah, for sure. So we have kind of our two main sectors that we are hiring for right now nationwide. One of those being our summer internship, which is for current juniors, so upcoming seniors, or people that might have, one more semester remaining essentially of college. It's an 8-week paid internship starting beginning of June, going through the end of July. And it's an awesome opportunity. We can only bring on 1 to 2 per location. So it is pretty selective, but it gives you an awesome kind of just full view of what that next step is going to look like if you came on full time. Not to mention you get to do so in a fun city, do a ton of networking. It's a really awesome opportunity. And then our full-time opportunity is the main one, of course, that we're very proactive in interviewing for right now. And again, that's in all 61 of our office locations nationwide. I know you mentioned earlier where those are located. We are based out of Atlanta. That's our headquarters. We have Nashville. That's where I'm located. We just opened Memphis. We have New York, LA, Denver, literally anywhere you could probably think we have an office in. So the full-time position, we hire with the intention of account management being kind of your goal that you're training into. So that's the role where you're the voice and face of the company. You're engaging with clients, you're building relationships, doing coffees, doing meetings, doing lunches, and kind of, really becoming that partner to these individuals. And then we train within recruiting. So that's the role where you're getting to kind of walk before you run, essentially. You are, really learning the back end of the business, and you're also paired up with a senior mentor, which is pretty cool. So you're kind of like taken under their wing from day one as you advance into account management.
Nice. The mentoring component, I think, is super important. So that's good that they're able to get that. Well, I want to circle back to the internship. So do you see a lot of your interns, going straight from intern into full-time with you all?
Yeah. So we have a small pool so far because we just started a couple years ago.
Got it.
And we started with 10, I think, hires nationwide. I want to say 7 or 8 of them got the full-time offer, 100% accepted, and all are crushing it. They're leaps and bounds ahead their colleagues that, just started fresh out of college or out of another role. So I definitely think it is a huge value add to
Yeah.
both, the candidate and to us as an employment, our employer. So yeah, I wish it was around back in the day when I was interviewing. I would have
Sure.
jumped all over it for
Absolutely.
sure.
That's good to know. Awesome. So if somebody's interested, how would one go about applying for jobs at Insight Global?
Yep. So you can apply online, just our insightglobal.com. We have what we call our in-house team, and that's where you can apply for our internal opportunities. Probably even easier would just be via handshake through your
Yep.
school. I have a posting for both of those live right now for both the
Okay.
summer internship and the full-time opportunity. And essentially, once the student applies, we would kind of go through the review process and reach out to set up a phone interview from there. And then we kind of talk through their location preferences and so on and so forth.
Got it. Awesome. Good to know. So applying, which is great. That's great ways. There's multiple ways of getting their application in. So do you see any like future opportunities like on down the road that you anticipate you're going to be needing filled? Like maybe once we get out of COVID and things may be turning around, anything on the horizon you might think of?
I mean, the good thing is we're kind of trudging on through
Uh,
COVID.
yeah.
Honestly, we took a little pause right there, at the forefront of this, but for all active students right now, like we still have a number of openings nationwide. We're being super selective, but we're also being very proactive. We like having majority of our offers out by probably April, early May timeframe to have the candidates starting in, June, July.
Sure.
So we have plenty of opportunities. And the great thing too with Insight Global is it's not just to hit a hiring goal, right? Or to like fill a seat. We really hire what we call lifers. So we look for people that want to come in, they want, state of the line training and development, and then they want to advance their career long term. We only promote from within. So every single management, leadership, executive level position, it's all only filled internally. So you advance really, really quickly once you just get your foot in the door and show that you're a value add to the company. So
Awesome.
I think that's a really cool piece of it too. You're
Yeah.
never gonna get burnt out or like hit that ceiling here.
Got it. Love that. So when you're looking at candidates, resumes, applications, interviews, what kinds of experiences like make a candidate like a good fit with your company? I mean, is there anything that is on a resume that you look at, you're like, that really makes a candidate stand out from their competition?
I would say, honestly, any type of leadership is incredible to us, whether it's in SGA, whether it's in Greek life, whatever you've done. It's a huge value add to us because it shows that you have that time management, right? It shows that you can focus on school, and do well there, but then you can also apply yourself and help grow a team or lead, an organization and kind of really balance your time accordingly. So that's huge with us. Any part-time jobs or obviously internships that a student was able to, to take part in is huge as well. Any type of exposure that somebody's had the chance to get. And it doesn't even have to be on a corporate level. I have so many students that, are so nervous on that initial phone
Yeah.
interview because they're like, COVID canceled my internship, or I had to work and make money in the summers. Like I bartended, I waitress. And I'm like, that's incredible. That's what I did too. You have to do what you have to do. But even that in itself is teaching you so much, right? It's showing, again, time management. You're balancing a ton of different tables or clientele. It teaches you, communication skills. There's so many things that you can take out of that. So I never, tell a candidate to take something off of a resume or,
Yeah.
belittle any type of experience. Anything that they've done while also attending school is a value add to us.
Good. Okay. That's awesome to know. So talk to me about your company culture. Like, why do you like working for Insight Global? And like, what are the exciting things going on that just makes you want to get up and go to work every day for them?
Yeah, love this question. Probably my favorite topic.
Okay.
We've won a lot of awards over the past several years for, best workplace for millennials, best company happiness,
Oh, wow.
just a lot of really exciting things. And I think it is because of our culture. I really, really do. We hire a type of person, a type of character. I guess more than anything, we hire somebody who's motivated, who's hardworking, ambitious, but they're also really encouraging, uplifting, a team player. They have high character. Like that's what we look for. And so I think when you get a team or an office full of people that kind of think that similar way, it just makes for such an incredible culture. We look for people not only who are gonna bust their butt and work so hard, but also people who like to celebrate the small things and celebrate the victories. We do a lot of team events. We're a really close-knit crew, and you'll get that whether you're in Nashville, whether you're across the country in LA. Like it doesn't matter because that's kind of who we are as a
Mhm.
culture. um so I love that. I know it's cheesy, but like I've made some of
No.
my best friends at this company. We
Yeah.
vacation together. Like
Oh, that's
it,
awesome.
yeah, I think it really makes or breaks a career. So I always tell students, whether it's with Insight Global or another company, like always do your research on the culture and
Yep.
on just the happiness in general of the people that are, interviewing you or that you're talking to. Because like it will make or break your experience for
Yeah.
sure.
I've always been a firm believer of the saying, like, if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So I totally get that vibe from you from Inside. So that's good to know. So definitely want our students to know about that. So what advice would you give to our students who are job and internship searching right now? I mean, during COVID, it's definitely not an easy time to be somebody who is either about to graduate in May or going to be looking for an internship for the summer or going to be a senior this fall. It's just a lot of unknowns in the world. So what would be your best advice to those students?
I would say just like keep the positivity, keep the foot on the gas. I know again for us specifically, we're still full force. I mean, we grew as crazy as it is last year at about 6%. Like we're
Wow.
continuing to hire, we're continuing to expand. And there's a ton of companies out there that are still looking for those rock star recent grads ready to hit the ground running. I know it's a little bit funkier with kind of the virtual world, but we're all learning as we go. I think there's even a few positives to that. You don't have to travel as much for interviews and stuff
That's
like
true.
that. So yeah, I would just say like keep your head up. It's still a really exciting time to kind of dig in and interview with companies, and there's still a lot of opportunity out there for sure.
Awesome. So going back to the recruiting process, how do you think recruiting is going to be like post COVID? Like, do you think it's still going to be a lot of virtual interviews or do you think that you'll go back to more in person or just in general, how do you think recruiting is going to change?
Yeah, for us internally kind of
Yeah,
deal.
absolutely. Sure.
Yeah, I would say we do definitely hope that we're going to go back to some sort of
Yeah.
normalcy. I mean, I give so much credit to Insight Global and our leadership and just how we have handled this past year. I mean, we pivoted, drop of the hat and shifted everything that we knew to this virtual world. And like I mentioned, I've still been doing a pretty good job at it, but we have definitely had to get away from our coffees and our in-person meetings. And to your point, just the interviewing in person, which
Yeah.
was so important to us. But we have kind of shifted gears, and I feel like we're getting just as great of quality, and we're really digging in even deeper on these virtual interviews.
Okay.
Um, I'm not too worried about it. I think to your question though, we will eventually start back at least probably a hybrid, something to where maybe first, second round is more virtual, but ideally we can get back to our final interviews over a lunch or a coffee.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
always what we had done in the past. So yeah, I have high hopes for the future, but for now we're doing what we can and gonna keep on hiring.
Absolutely. Well, Courtney, I'll leave us with one last question. So why UT? Why do you like hiring Vols?
Yes. Well, the easy answer is I am a Vol myself. I graduated from UT back in 2015, so definitely biased to all my Vols applicants. I love it. I love going back. I love being in Knoxville. Love being on campus. Plus, I just feel like I can kind of relate. I know I'm a few years out at this point, but I feel like it was just yesterday that I was a junior, a senior, walking on campus, going to career fairs, like trying to kind of figure out my next step. And Insight Global honestly kind of just fell into my lap. And now here I am 6 years later, right?
That's
like
awesome.
Just as happy as I was day one. So it's kind of fun to get to go back to my old stomping grounds and kind of be that face of the company for somebody just like me, right? Somebody who's kind of looking to get that next break and start their career. So definitely biased to the Vols. I would love to hire you guys nationwide.
We love it. We love that. Awesome. Well, Courtney, we really do appreciate you taking time to talk to us. And I will put in the comment section your email, if that's okay. If any students has any direct questions, we can have them directly reach out to you, and we'll encourage them to look on Handshake for the positions and whatnot. And so we definitely have some recruiting opportunities coming open. And so we appreciate you all's partnership, and go Vols for sure.
Go Vols.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah. Throw my info in there, and anybody's more than welcome to reach out, whether it's just a question about interviewing or an interest in Insight Global. I'd love to be a resource for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Courtney. Really do appreciate taking your time, and we will be in touch soon, and hopefully we'll get you some UT students. So.
Let's do it. Thanks so much, Andrew. Have a great
day.
week.
Take care. Bye-bye.